Sheriff Rutherford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member and Acting Administrator Rocheleau. Thank you for being here this afternoon to talk about some of this. I want to go back to the ATCs and talk a little bit about that as well, because it's very important to my district where we have the Jacksonville Air Route Traffic Control Center for all of Northeast Florida, which has that funnel effect, and it's incredibly busy. 160,000 square miles of airspace, 20 military installations, 200 civilian airports. How these folks do it, I have no idea. It really is incredibly proud of those guys and gals and what they do. I was really happy to see this $97 million to hire 2,500. Question though, how much of that we're going to be able to accomplish. I'm concerned about that. One of the things that I'd like to ask in finding those people, the DEI biologics assessments that were being used previously for selection of ATCs, air traffic controllers that were part of the DEI process before, which I think 1,000 that were proficient but refused hiring because of their biologics were then filed a lawsuit. Of that 1,000, are we going back to those folks? I know we've gone back to performance-based selecting, right? Correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
Merit-based approach to hiring.
Right. And so have we gone back to those that were rejected, who were proficient but rejected simply because of their race back, 3 years ago, whatever that was?
I am not specifically aware of those individuals or an effort to go back to them. I will be happy to take the IOU and get back to you and your staff to make sure that we follow up on that.
I mean, if they're still willing to come, that would be a great source to tap into, I would think. And I think what you're going to find also is that 35% failure rate in the academy is going to go down significantly when it's more based on merit than biological information. So I'm glad to see you all moving in that direction. Can you talk a little bit about a little more on what specifically can we do to help you with this process? I mean, we're talking about $39,000 per student of the, you take $97 million, that ain't a lot of money for 2,500 students. That's $39,000 a head. Is that going to be enough? And are there other things that we can do to help you in this process?
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate the support. Clearly, working with Congress is going to be critical to our success going forward. I would also say that we have budgeted, we have programmed for up to 2,500 in our current budget request with the $97.3 million. I would also make a very important point here as it relates to the throughput. So as we have truncated the ability to get additional people into the academy itself, and we've added instructors to do that basic as we use the certified controllers to do the evaluation piece, we are confident that we're going to see a better graduation rate coming out of there. Part of that is the tutoring piece that I talked about earlier as well. So I'm confident in what we have put in place to be able to kind of meet our goals this year. It is aggressive. I will acknowledge that. But I think
is that going to be official tutoring over the weekends and that sort of thing?
So we will have tutors available, but we'll also have the high definition simulators for people to go and practice. Right. I learned that in the military when we did a lot of that. Those simulators would be very valuable to those people who want to kind of put in the extra work.
Let me switch over to some of the work that they're going to be dealing with. Particularly looking at your long career at FAA and in the Air Force, I'm sure you've seen eras where there's a lot of progress as well as a lot of stagnation within the aviation sector. And part of the future of aviation is drone and how that's going to fit into the commercial space. Now, I see the budget deals with some of that in a modest amount, and I'm appreciative of that. But let me ask you, can you share with this subcommittee a bit about your vision for how the drone commercial space is going to fit together? Because it's coming quickly.
Give you a few seconds to answer the question.
Thank you,
Oh, I'm
sir.
sorry,
It is coming quickly, and it was one of the reasons why I was so excited to come back to the FAA, bringing new innovative technologies into the airspace. That includes drones, that includes advanced air mobility, the eVTOLs or air taxis, and it includes commercial space as well.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I'm running over my time. I yield back.